Hello everybody, my name is Luca and I'm the developer behind Lino Library Manager. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I am happy to tell you that Lino is finally out and ready for download. What is Lino Library Manager? First of all, a couple of months ago I sat on my sofa with my new handheld device and I was annoyed that I couldn't stream or have the same games library that I had on my PC on my handheld. So I started working on a little PowerShell script, which I made that weekend, and it worked, but it was really ugly. So then I just thought, why not start a Electron project, which is a JavaScript project. So I started coding, and it's been 6 months now, about, or even more, and I haven't basically played a game in that time. I've just spent every evening on Lino Library Manager, which is the finest way of procrastination. And during that time, I also had a child, which of course takes a lot of time. So this is a project I've been chugging along on every evening for the past months, and it's finally ready for release. So let's get to it. When you purchase Lino, you'll get this little folder right here. This is the first version. You open it, and then you just double click on the exe. So here's Lino Library Manager. The first part is the onboarding. Here you go through a couple of steps to just set up your experience. So the first step, you select your game library folder. So let's click add folder. I've already pointed mine to Steam, but when you're in Steam, you just go to Steam, Steam Apps, and Common. And then when in here, you can just click select folder to import that folder into Lino. And let's say you have multiple game libraries and you want to use multiple. Well, then you just add another folder like this. I have, for example, my Synology, which is my NAS behind me, a folder where I have all my games. Most of them are Steam cached, but some are in GOG and so on. So just pick that folder. And then we can add this folder, which is basically my Switch emulation library folder. So now I have 3 folders. That's a good start. Let's continue. Here we select our save backup program. It's optional, but if you want Lino to automatically back up your saves on exit on the games, you can click the link here and download a software called Ludus Avi, which is an open source software that I really recommend. So once you have downloaded it, you just click locate file and go to where you have downloaded it and click open like that. And now you can see that we selected its path. Let's continue. On the next part, we select our screenshots location. And this is if you are like me, you take lots of screenshots and you want one place to view them all. Lino has a built-in screenshot viewer, of course. So you click here, and then you select your screenshot folder, and then you click select folder, like that. And a screenshot folder is basically a parent folder with how many folders you want inside. And Lino will scrape all the screenshots within those folders or images and show them in a nice page. Let's continue. And this is a page where you select where you want your backups to be stored. I actually have one folder already where I'm storing all my backups, and it's on my Synology, which is my server behind me here, so that I can sync it between my devices. So let's just pick that one, and it's up. Let me see, it's here. So let's just click select folder like that. Let's continue. Here you select some just general preferences for Lino. I like to have it to minimize to tray instead of closing, so when I close it, it just minimizes. And then you can also select to start it with Windows, and then it will create a registry token, or what you could say, a variable to start it with Windows. But let's just skip this part. And this is one of my favorite parts of Lino, and this is where you select the themes. I created some themes for you guys already. Let's just make this window a bit bigger. So I hope, let's see, I can't, yeah, like that. I created some themes for you guys already, but yeah, you can always create your own theme. I will get to that later on. Let's just select coffee because I love this theme personally. Then just click next, and this is where you register Lino. I wanted to keep it as like honest and simple as possible, without any like regular online checks or like DRM. This is only so you can do two things to update your software, because I thought, let's say somebody pirates it, I mean, so easy to just get all the updates for free. So I thought at least they could, it could be a little hassle for them to update the software. But if you purchase it, you can just paste in your license key, and I've already purchased my own software here, so I have a license key, and this is just a trial license key. And then you can name your device. So I will call it Lucas PC. Let's click activate to activate Lino. Like that. Now we can see up to date. You're running the latest version, and this is the only version right now, so that's good. And now you also see that you can have 3 devices. So if you have a handheld or another PC, you can also connect it on that to fetch updates on those devices as well. Let's click next. And yeah, we're done with the setup for Lino. Let's click finish. So it loads and sets everything up. And once it's done, you will see this little overview page. If you've been on my Discord channel, you have seen this multiple times already. It has a total games counter, which counts all your games in your libraries. It actually also a good thing to say, if you have duplicate games in the multiple libraries, it will pick the one at the top of the libraries and select that path for the game. You can see your categories, played games, and you also have this little fun feature that I added to just pick a game to play, because I have troubles picking games to play. So yeah, and then you have a little game selection here. Currently it has all my games, but you can click on customize, and then you can select the preferences from which games that will be shown. And what I do is I just put it on playing, and then I have installed, and yeah, like that. And when I put a game on the completion state playing, it just shows up here, so I can keep track of that. Now it's getting late here in Sweden, so I'll just turn it to system theme so it gets dark to save my eyes. Let's continue to the next page. Here we have the library view. Here, this is the view you'll probably spend the most time on. And this contains all your games from the path that you added. So currently it's a bit boring because we don't have any images on the games. You can change the grid size here. I prefer it to have it somewhere in the middle, like that. You can click on filters here at the top, and you can filter your games. So for example, the name, you can reverse it. Now we have Zombieville at the top, or reversed again, and then we have A at the top. And you can of course sort it as well, any way you want. You can pick visibility. If you right click, you can hide games and do lots of more stuff. You can show different completion states, so if you're playing and so on. And yeah, I will not go through all of those, but they are pretty self-explanatory. The only one that could be a bit confusing is the game length, and that is gotten from the how long to beat API, which I will show you later on. So let's just leave this for now. If you click on a game here, you open the game, and here you can see all the information the game has. Currently I don't have any information basically, other than my install path and my executable path, because I haven't downloaded metadata, and that is what we're going to do next. So if you click up here, you can hover on it and you can see what it does, and the same goes for all the top settings like this. So if you click here, it says, oh, you don't have any API keys. So that we will fix. So let's go to settings. In settings, you can either, if you don't have any API keys, which you probably don't, you can follow this little guide I wrote at the bottom here. to create keys. It's just follow this guide and you should be fine. If you're not fine, you can always go to my Discord channel and get some help from there. But once you have the keys, you just paste them in, like I will right now, like this, and then you can, if you want, click test credentials, and you can see that it works, and then you can click save. So once you've saved your keys, let's go back to the library and click up here, and now you will see this modal right here. Here you can select which metadata you want. I just prefer to leave it all on like this. And if you have any issues or you want to like re-download the metadata, you can just click on this little checkbox right here, but I'll just leave it off. And then click downloading, and if you look closely here at the faded background, you will see that games are currently being downloaded. And this process is not very fast, especially if you have hundreds of games like me. So please be patient, grab a cookie or something and just wait. Yeah, let's just wait for this to download. So yeah, I'll just cancel it prematurely, and it has a weird way of downloaded games, so it's not really in order all the time. So I see some games here at the bottom being downloaded, so I'll just cancel and scroll down a bit. Let me see here which have metadata. Okay, yeah. A bit random. I'm not sure why. But let's just click on a game, let's say Descenders, like this, and then you can see the image here has been downloaded. You see the path. If you click on screenshots, you can see screenshots from IGDB, which have been downloaded, like that. You can also set the own screenshots path if you have a folder with this game screenshots. You can add notes like this. You can also see your saves, and this is based on your backup path that you set in the onboarding page. And here at the bottom you can also see when the game was backed up last time. I haven't played this game in a while, so it was a while ago. And also, of course, you can read a little description right here, see some metadata here at the bottom. You can close this if you want. Now you can see the creator and so on. And one thing I was really happy with when I implemented it was this little thing right here. If you click download, it will fetch the how long to beat data for this game. And I have not played this game, so I have no progress. Excuse me, my voice is dead. But once you play the game, you'll see a little tracker here on the how low to beat data. And once you're past the max, it will just fill out in infinite. And you will see how long past the completionist you are. I find that kind of a bit of a fun feature. So let's just click this one, and you can see here it's 139 hours. That's a long time. And yeah, it's just a feature I use a lot myself. And yeah, this is how it looks. So let's continue. I'm looking on my notes on the right side. Let's check out the screenshots. I love screenshotting in games. It's one of my biggest hobbies. So when it comes to gaming, at least. So here you can just scroll down. You can see all your screenshots. And then I have a little nice image viewer, and with your arrow keys you can go through your screenshots like that. It's kind of nice, I think. I will expand lots on this in the future, but for now it's basically just a screenshot viewer. But I will add favorites and filters and stuff like that in the future as well. So let's continue to settings, and this is here you have lots of settings for basically everything. Here you have your library folders. I have one feature planned where you can reorder the folders on the left side here in order to set the prioritization of the games. So if you have duplicates, it will favor the library path at the top. But that's kind of a niche feature. I have that, so I will probably add it just for myself. But maybe some other person here will enjoy it as well. You can add more folders or more paths if you want. You can delete paths if you click here. and you click delete. Just to note, if you click remove path, you will also delete the entries in the database. And speaking of database, I can actually show you the database. So if you go to your folders, and then you go to app data, roaming, and Lino, here you will find some cache storage and so on. My bad. We have the app in portable mode. I totally forgot about that. So let's just remove this and go to application settings. Lately I put my app on portable mode, and this means that all of the database will be saved within the game folder itself, and not the application or app data folder. And this is so you can transfer Lino between devices without too much fuss. So let's open Lino folder, and here you see a folder called database, and here you see all of the data stored for the software. So in this case we can open, let's say, I'll do it like that, and I'll just drag that in right here. We can open games, for example, and this is the most interesting folder, I think. And here you see all the games in a JSON file. You can see the metadata entries like that. You can see when it was updated. You can see completion state and all of that kind of stuff. If you really like JSON, you can go forth and edit what you want here, or you can just use Lino to edit your settings. And you can also open categories. I'll just do it like this. 1 second. Categories, completion state, these are the default ones. Emulation settings, metadata, of course, so it knows the processed games, save backups, screenshots, all of that kind of stuff. Settings is kind of fun as well, because here you can edit things. So, but let's close this and go back to the software. So in application settings, speaking of, you can fix some basic settings. Minimize the tray and close. Yeah, if we close it, it will just minimize to the tray. Find that kind of useful. Start minimized if you want Lino to silently open when you open the software. Start with Windows, it will create a registry entry and start the software with Windows. Minimize on game launch, I also like having on, so when you start the game, Lino will minimize. And you also have export database, so if you want to export your database, you can just do that like that. And when you open when you open the folder, it will just have the database that I showed you earlier. And this I find very useful in the case that the data gets corrupted when you send it between devices, or you just regret some edit you made. I find that really useful. And here we also have themes, which I talked about. I like the Steam theme, kind of reminds me of Steam, so I named it that. But if you don't like any of these themes, which you might not, you can make your own, and this I find really, really nice. You can click here, or you can click in the top right here and click create theme. You can also switch them here. And then you get here, and then you click create your first theme. So when it's like that, you can name the theme, video recording, and let's just make this theme dark because of reminds me of a video for some reason. Yeah, something like that. It's very, very ugly, so just spare your eyes and click create. There you can select it, and now it's using the video recording theme. Yeah, it's really ugly, so I'll just not use this one to spare your eyes. Let's pick the military one instead. You have your API keys, as I said. You have screenshots where you can change that path. I will add more stuff here later. Save backups, here you can change some initial settings for Ludus Abi. I just recommend leaving this as it is. Fuzzy matching is really useful because sometimes your game names are not 100% matched in the Ludus Abi database, and this will just basically make it so it always matches the game name. Then you have, let me see, library you've gone through, executable priority. And this is if you have some kind of BAT file or some specific launcher you want to play the game from, some Steam emulation launcher or stuff like that. You can just add it here. Let's go down here to the help and support, and this I added yesterday, and I find it kind of useful. So if you are licensed and if you have any like bug reports, feature requests and so on, you can just select it here and let me know by pressing submit feedback, and I will get back to you if you want, and click this. Then we have about page, and this is where you handle your license. You can see your, yeah, this is wrong, I'll fix that. But you can see your game or game launcher version right here. You can click check for updates and it will fetch the latest update, and you can just click update right here. You can click these little links right here, click buy me a coffee if you want to buy me a coffee. Love coffee. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I forgot to say, if you buy me a coffee, I will invite you to a hidden Discord channel where I post all my little reshade presets that I use for my screenshots right here. My huge hobby in life is photography, and I love tweaking reshades presets for some strange reason. So if you like my screenshots and my reshade presets, I will post them in that little donator Discord. But that's just a minor thing. Let me see if I got everything. Yeah, I think so. We have some small features left, like viewing the games in a list like this. This is a pretty, what it's called, not so developed view, but for now it's just mainly a placeholder for a future better list system. But here you can also play your games, you can open the list view and so on. But I prefer the grid view. I can go through this a bit as well. If you click here, check this little animation I made on the clock. I'm really happy with that one. So if you click here, you can fetch how long to beat data for all your games. And yeah, if you click start, it will just download the how long to beat data. So if you scroll to the top right here and click on a short, let me see, I saw that it downloaded for Yelly, so I'll just open that. Okay, this game doesn't have any how long to beat data. But yeah, it should download the how long to beat data. You can also right click and click download how long to beat data. And when you open it, you will see it at the bottom. Of course, that was a good illustration because some games just don't have data. So in that case, it will just not find it. Then we have this little cloud icon right here. And this is one of the main reasons I created this software, and then it just spun away. But here you can check if your games are cloud offloaded, which if you have a server like me, then you can, or Google Drive or iCloud or stuff like that, you can offload your games to a server. And this is basically Lino checking if they are on your PC or if they are on your server. So it's basically like self-owned or self-hosted Steam. So if I cancel, you will see that some games are not installed. So if you want to hide those games, you can go to filters, and then you can just select installed games, and it will just show the installed games. And then this brings me to, now that we have some data, you can click the filters here on the side and select a specific filter group, like that maybe. Maybe it's a bit empty right now, so let's click on some games, like that. Click manage games, and then we can change them to playing, for example, like that. And we can also add a category, Lucas favorites, like that. We select them, and now it will show here Lucas favorites. Let's just reset the filter. Lucas favorites, like that, and then you can, for example, install, like that. And now it just shows the installed games with the Lucas favorites filter. If you go to the overview again, it will show one category, it will show your games right here. It looks a bit empty right now, so just let's download metadata. And this you can do by just right clicking as well. And then you can pick it yourself, like that. So now we see that it's updated. And speaking of metadata, sometimes it's worth mentioning when you download using this downloader, it will not find all games. I know there are some usual suspects, like for some strange reason, what it's called, yeah, I can't come up with it now, but some games just won't find. And if you right click on them, for example like this, and let's say you search for the game and you still don't find it, like this, you can just go to IGDB, this website, search for the game there, and then copy the ID for the game. And if you paste the ID here, press enter, it will certainly in all cases find the game. So that's just a small hint. Yeah, I think there are many features, as you know. Oh wait, lagged for a sec. You can search as well. So if you search for something, it will pop up like this. And yeah, I think you can tell on me that I'm kind of tired now watching my child here on the little display. So yeah, it's the life of being a developer parent. But yeah, that's all. Sorry for the extremely messy walkthrough. I hope you could follow along. I haven't prepared this at all, and I've just spent all the time developing this little software. Expect some bugs because hey, it's pretty complex software. I put lots of time and all evenings on fixing the bugs, but I think it's in a good enough state to be used right now. So that's hence this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me, having the patience to wait for my slow development, and thank you so much for supporting the project. So have a nice evening or day or wherever you live, and see you. Bye.